Hi everyone, my name is Cecily and welcome to my channel. This reading is for anyone whose sun, moon, or ascendant is in the thoughtful sign of Gemini. So Gemini and Gemini watchers, I know you guys are out there. You have some things that are going to come up for you this month. You have some bumps in the road, but they're not all bad bumps. There's definitely a potential for 2 possible partners this month, and the 3 of you not knowing how to work things out. So let's start off at the beginning of the month. The first card that you received is actually the Ten of Cups. Okay, so the Ten of Cups is one of the best cards in the deck. I mean, it is ultimate happiness. It's when you have everything you could want and desire, and it's about you having a really good time and feeling ultimately fulfilled in love. So traditionally, the card is a man and woman with their 2 children dancing in front of a home. And there's this beautiful rainbow, and it's basically saying that they have all of this abundance, they have all of this love, they have everything that they could ever possibly need, they have each other as well. So the Ten of Cups is about fulfillment, right? It's about you having what you need romantically and things working out. So for you, Gemini, you've got some good times coming at the beginning of the month. And you're starting to feel a little bit more relaxed because in the past, Gemini, you have gone through this nightmare over a past someone or a past partner has been on your mind and you haven't quite been able to let it go. So the Nine of Swords cards are all about communication. They're all about our thoughts. So it lets you know the difference between when somebody is in your heart and when somebody is on your mind. And this is basically saying, specifically for you, Gemini, it's going to be a huge connection because you're an air sign. But it is saying that you've had some past relationship stuff that's still on your mind, and what you're doing is you're covering it with this Ten of Cups. So there is ultimately happiness there, and you might be dating other people or possibly seeing 2 people, and one is from your past and one is somebody that doesn't have any sort of negative connotation with them. But what I'm really sensing is you're worried about some sort of past deceit that may have happened, and now you're trying to start fresh, and the love that you feel is genuine. But as the month goes on, you'll get a little bit more tentative about what's being told to you and about how to really start over, and not just how to say we're pressing the reset button, but how to physically, day to day, actually do it. So this is the Two of Wands. This is your crossing card for your reading, Gemini. And the Two of Wands is one of those cards where you're looking out at the possibilities of the road in front of you. So there's a part of you that realizes that happiness is very close and very available to you. But you realize there's 2 paths, right? Now this could be literal in the sense that there's 2 people, or it could be figurative in the sense that you may be considering whether to continue on with this person or not. And you're at a crossroads, right? Especially with a crossing card, you're sitting there and you're saying to yourself, this looks like a good option, but this looks like a good option. I can't really tell what's best for me. Now, this is also connected to this Magician card. It's the only card that you have in reverse. I actually haven't had a lot of reversals this month, which is really nice. And the Magician card, when it's in the upright position, it's a major arcana, and it's a beautiful card because it talks about you being connected to your source, you being connected to your partnership, to the universal, to everything around you. You just have a tendency of being in sync. When you put it in reverse, it's basically saying that the choice between these 2 people or these 2 options in your life is taking you out of connection with, however you want to put it, God, the universal, your own, inner compass, whatever you like to say or however you feel about it, it's basically saying that you're a little bit off of base right now. You're not really connecting to the next choice that has to be made, and that's making you feel a little bit lost and putting you in the dark, which is what's on your mind. It's your crowning card. So your crowning card is the moon, and the moon is when you can't see things clearly. There's not clear communication between you and your partner right now. You're not really sure what's going on. You're not sure if they're in complete bliss like you are, trying to cover it up and pretend, or you're not sure if they're in this nightmare. And the two of you are kind of battling it out psychically, spiritually, trying to decide who's going to call who's going to reach who's going to open the door for this conversation to happen. And the moon is probably one of my personally least favorite cards, just because there's a difference between pain and confusion. And with the Nine of Swords is actually mental anguish, it's pain. But the moon is frustration. It's not being able to see things clearly, it's confusion, it's feeling lost on the inside. And for you right now, Gemini, you're going to get to a place where you want things to be clear between you and your partner. You want that communication to be there. So much so, towards the middle of the month, before the holidays start, you're going to reach out to this person. Now, this is you, Gemini. This is the Page of Swords. Okay, and the Page of Swords represents an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. But more than that, it talks about your state of mind. If you look at his face, he's got a very sort of solemn, sort of focused attitude. And swords are all about communication. Your sign personally is all about communication. So it's very much about the two of you feeling like you want to communicate and you want to talk to this particular person, but you don't know how. And you feel like they've got the power and you don't. So there's something here with you guys, Gemini, because this King of Wands is coming out pretty strong. It's a fire sign. It's a Leo. It's a Sagittarius. It's, who am I missing? An Aries. I would really say that you and this Sagittarius, I would say, or Leo. I'm not sensing a lot of Aries here, but that definitely could be the case. You and this particular person are battling it out over who's going to reach out to one another, who's going to talk, which road am I seriously going to take? Is it possible for me to leave this person behind if leaving them behind puts me in so much pain? How do I do this? How do I do what I know is best for me, or let go of them, which may be best for them, and still have what I want and be happy? Because at the beginning of the month, that Ten of Cups is real, but it's also covering something that is deeper than that. So by the time you get to the end of the month, you will actually communicate and see this person. There will be some sort of back and forth between the two of you. Now, this Three of Wands is basically saying that this person has actually genuinely figured out how to start over. And you're wondering if they have or not, and you're confused by the fact that they've taken it a step further past this Two. So this Two of Wands is the choice, but this Three of Wands is actually saying, I've made my choice and I've moved past it. I'm okay with it. So this is the card that represents your partner. So your partner has actually decided to move on, and there will be communication, and you will reach out to that person to communicate. So let's see exactly what's going on with your outcome, Gemini. Okay. All right, Gemini. So You got 2 court cards as your outcome cards, but I can tell from looking at the reading that it's a little bit more complicated than that. It's not just people. It's a vibe, and I'll explain. So this Queen of Pentacles is the card that represents your hopes and your fears. So the Queen of Pentacles, normally I would say this is a person, but in this particular placement, I'm going to say this isn't just a person, but this is outside people affecting your relationship. Your friends, your family, your mother, your brother, your sister, your cousin, whoever is important to you. There's an outside source that's kind of looking down, even if you see her. The pentacles that are in cards usually represent responsibility and judgment, and the way she's holding this and she's looking down to the side is kind of like somebody's looking in on your relationship, trying to make this the very important decision for you and your partner. So I'm going to take this as a fear, even though the Queen of Pentacles is usually a very warm card. But I will say that this is judgment. This is you and your partner getting judged, and they've decided to move on from that judgment because for whatever reason something's not working for them. But there will be some sort of rekindling around New Year's for most of you. This is the Page of Cups, and the Page of Cups is either a child, a person, but really what I'm seeing it right now is an opportunity for love. The Page of Cups comes to you with an offer, but it's not the offer that you want and you feel like you deserve, especially standing next to this Queen. It's an offer of love, but it may be an offer of love like in a low sort of hush-hush situation, not necessarily an open, free, loving scenario where you guys get to be together. There's something about this that's secretive because of this moon, especially because this is a Cups card and the moon does relate a lot to secrets and water and all of that kind of stuff. There's something that's very something that isn't coming through for that person. I think that person has decided to go with his family or her family's judgments instead of accepting where the relationship could be, and they've moved on, and you're now in a place where you're deciding if you can or can't move on regardless of how they feel. You've still decided that you're going to be happy, but you're hoping that it includes them. So, Gemini, that's your reading for the month of December. Thank you guys so much for all of your likes and your comments and your subscribes. I love you guys so much, and I'm happy to be up and running again.